Hello friends, I am an aptitude trainer from the Department of Career Planning and Development. The topic that we have started today, that is the linear and the circular races, and in this chapter we complete with the concepts and the tricks of that. So the very first thing that we need to know about the words that we have used in this chapter, like a race means a competition that in which we have the contestant who compete among themselves to cover some distance in the shortest length of time. Mean a distance to be covered, like suppose from the starting point to the finish point, and all contestant took participate, and the person who reached the finish point first is the winner of the race. Now in this case, what we may have, the first one, we have the linear race. In linear race, the contestants just follow a linear track that I have given in this example. Whereas the second one, we have the circular track. In the circular track, the person will move in a circular shape, that from a starting point they reach to complete, they first complete the circle and reach the starting point again. That is also considered as the end point. Mean in a circular race, starting point and the finish point both are the same. Now the next what we have, starting point. Starting point, as I said, the point from where the race began. The winning point or the end point is the point where the race ends or finished. So these are the certain things that we need to know before starting this chapter. Now the first thing that we need to confirm after this, that is the concept of linear race. In linear race, what we are using in commonly, that is the expression like we have the head start. Head start means like A give B head start of X meters. That means when a race starts X meter ahead of the starting point, it is called head start of X meters. That means A gives B a head start of X meters. That means from the starting point A, we have at the starting point where B is X meters ahead of the starting points. When the race starts, then they fight to complete the distance in the shortest time to finish the race or to reach at the finish point. So now the thing is, head start means when the race starts, A starts from the starting point where B starts X meters ahead of him. So as we can say, A gives B a head start of X meters. Now we have the head start in which A can give B a head start of T minutes. In this what we have, the thing is, when the race start, both starts from the same point, but A gives B a head start of T minutes. It means when B runs for T minutes, then A starts the race. That means A starts T minutes after B starts running for the race. Now the next what we have, A beats B by X meters. That means the race is started when A reaches the finish point, B is X meters behind A. The next what we have, A beats B by T seconds. It means when the race finish, A reaches the finish point and B reaches the finish point after T seconds. Now the next we have, that is the dead heat. Dead heat is the situation of tie, which means A and B started at the same time and reaches at the final point at the same point of time. Now we have an example for that. On the basis of the example, we can understand how the concept of linear equation we have in the exam. Like example says, in a race of 100 meters, A give B a 10 meters and C 20 meters. That means in the same race, B can give C the head start of how much meters. It means when A starts a race, B is 10 meters ahead of him and C is 28 meters ahead of him, whereas the complete race is of 100 meters. Now when A covers 100 meters the same race, B covers 100 minus 10 because he is already 10 meters ahead from A. That means 90 meters. Whereas C covers 100 minus 28, that is 72 meters. That means using unitary method we can say Before B runs 100 meters, C runs 72 by 90 into 100, that means 80 meters. It means when B runs the distance of 100 meters, C runs only 80 meters. That means B gives 20 meters head start to C. Now, the next example what we have. In the next example, we just need to understand that in a race of 500 meters, the ratio of the speed of two contestants, that is P is to Q, is 4:5, and A starts off 140 meters. Then P wins the race by how many meters? It means in order to reach the finish point, B has to cover only 500 minus 140 meters, that is 360 meters. And that means the ratio of the speed is equal to the ratio of the distance covered. That means we can say if P covers 4 meters, Q covers 5 meters of the distance. As P covers 360 meters, where 360 meters defines the difference covered by P, that is equals to 4x. In the same sense, the distance covered by Q, that is 5x. If 4x is equal to 360, then 5x is equals to 450 meters. Hence we can say Q win the race by 50 meters. Now, if A is n times as fast as B and A gives B a head start of x meter, then the length of the race course so that A and B reaches the finish point or the winning point at the same time, then we can say x power n by n minus 1 meters is the answer for this question. The second thing what we have, if A run x meters race in t1 seconds and B in t2 second, where t1 is less than t2, then we can say A beats B by a distance of x by t2 into t2 minus t1 meters. So these are the two short tricks we have that we can use in the questions directly to solve the question without putting much effort in the calculation part. Now, next thing we have the circular races. In this circular races, what we need to understood that a question in the concept that we have, that we first, when do the participant meets first time anywhere on the track? How many times do the participant meets? And when do the first time they meet at the starting point or at the ending point? The thing that we need to understood here, like before moving forward, we need to understand some problem like x and y are two runners that run on a circular path of L with the speed of x meter per second and y meter per second, where x is greater than y. Then we may ask that x and y are running in the same direction, then time taken by them, or x and y are running in the opposite direction, then time taken by them. Now the thing is, x and y to meet first time anywhere on the track, that is L by x minus y. Whereas x and y to meet first time on the starting point, the answer is the LCM of L by x and L by y. Whereas in the second one, when they move in the opposite direction, x and y meet at the first time anywhere on the track, that is L by x plus y. Whereas x and y meet first time on the starting point of the track, that is LCM of L by x and L by y. Now, the next thing is very interesting to understood that when the speed of y expressed in the term of x and x in this and y are running in the opposite direction, then the speed of y is n times of x, then number of meeting point of x and y are n plus 1, and if the speed is y equals to x, then the meeting points are 2. In the same manner, we can say if the number of meeting point is unknown and the time required to meet at the starting point is also known, then you can compute the time needed for them to meet at the first time using the formula. And what the formula we have? The formula is time after which they will meet at the starting point divided by number of meetings they have on the track. Now the next is x and y running on a circular track and in opposite direction. If speed of x is x by y of y, then total number of meeting in the point is x plus y. Whereas all the distant meeting point are equidistant on the circular path and sum goes for time, i.e. all of them take equal time and are covered in the definite manner. We can understand these things by having some examples that we use on the coming slides, so don't bother. Then the last point what we have, a diagrammatic approach is the best technique when it comes to the circular path, and it will help to visualize the questions properly. So let's try to understand it through an example. So now here we have the question that in a circular race of 2400 meters, that means if there is a race of 2400 meters where A and B starts from the same point and with the speed of 27 kilometers per hour and 45 kilometers per hour, then there may be two conditions that when they will meet for the first time on the track, if they move in the same direction or in the opposite direction. So now the thing is, when they are moving in the same direction, their relative speed is the difference of that is 45 minus 27. Whereas when they are moving in the opposite direction, their speed is the sum of the speed, that is 27 plus 45. Hence we can say when they are moving in the same direction, the time taken by them is L divided by x minus y. Now if we calculate them, the answer is taken, that is 2400 divided by 12.5 minus 7.5, that is 480 seconds. Whereas when they move in the opposite direction, the relative speed is addition. Hence the formula is L divided by x plus y, which gives the answer as 2400 divided by 12.5 plus 7.5, that gives us the answer 120 seconds. In both the sense what we are doing, we just converting their speed from kilometer per hour to meter per second by multiplying the value with 5 by 18. Hence the answer we have for this question. Now the next thing, the example number 2 we have, and in this the question says Ram and Shyam are running opposite direction around a circular track of 20 pi meters. Speed of the Ram is 33.33% of the speed of Shyam. Find the straight line distance when they meet first time and the second time, and it is given that they start simultaneously from the common point. Now here we have, suppose they start from the same point, that is point A, and as they are running in the circular track in the opposite direction, means A is moving toward this direction, B is moving toward this direction, and the speed is 33 1 by 3, 33%, that means 1 by 3rd. It means if a person travel 3x of the distance, another travels only x of the distance. That means we can say Ram is travel only x meters, whereas Shyam is travel 3x. The total distance is 4x, that means the total distance is to be divided into 4 equal parts. That means they meet at these 4 points, and Shyam covers 3 distances, the first part, second part and third part, whereas Ram covers only first part. It means they meet at the point B. This is the quadrant we have, and we can say it makes a right angle triangle. Hence what we can say, the distance is of 20 pi. Now we can say that 20 pi is the distance, that is the circumference, which is equals to 2 pi r, that is 20 pi here we have. Now if 2 pi r is 20 pi, then pi and pi is cancels, 2r is equals to 20, that r is equals to 10. That means the distance is OA for 10 and OB is 10. For both the sense we can just have the calculation of the shortest distance, that is the value of hypotenuse. So by using the Pythagoras theorem we can have the distance, that is 10 root 2 for this question. So friend, it is all about the linear tracks and the circular track races. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye and take care.